Hey, what's up everyone? I'm here with my trainer, Thomas Summers. We just wanted to make sure that we give you guys all the info about the app so you fully understand what the 32 approach has to offer. We want to make sure you understand how the app works, why we designed it, and what the purpose of it and how it's going to benefit you. So to just kind of start it off very organically, I think that they should know like the backstory and how this came apart or came together. I moved down here earlier this year, and I was looking for a trainer that I could really rely on, depend on, and knew his stuff. I came from Melbourne, where I had a really good trainer that helped me with my knee recovery, and so I'm very particular with who I work with, and I was really nervous about making that jump. And I had actually already followed him and seen his stuff on social media, and so I figured, why not come in, talk to the guy. Did I reach out to you on Instagram? How did that?
So how it worked is you were with your brother and you hit up Steve because you had the relationship, and then you came in first with your brother just to use the cages. And then we got to talking a little bit, and that's kind of how we built the relationship. So we formed it through Steve-O, the hitting coach that we have here at the facility now. Yeah, because I remember you used to hit at the old place when you were in
you're
town.
right. So Steve, he used to have an old facility in Clearwater that I used to go to and train out of with like Bianca Bell, and it was when I was in, at the time, I was in the NPF. And so I was training for my pro season through his facility. So yeah, I reached out to Steve because I saw he gave lessons out of here. And he was like, yeah, come in. And that was when Mikey was in town. So I came and hit with him. That was when I first got introduced to you. And then I feel like from there it kind of took off because I told him I was moving down here. I was looking to make this like my permanent place of living. And then he was like, if you want to come in and train, give it a shot. And I mean, just looking around at the place, they had all the bells and whistles, or he had all the bells and whistles, and then to top it off, he had the 2 cages in here. So to me, I feel like that's an athlete's dream, to be able to work out and then also jump in and take some swings. Something that like I didn't have access to as much where I used to live, and I really haven't had access to since college. And so I feel like it kind of just happened organically in that way. There was no pressure. Like he was never like, you need to come in and work with me. I just wanted to get comfortable with him because like I said, I'm really picky about who I train with because my knee is my baby now, and I need to make sure that whoever's training me is going to take care of not only like myself but like my body and how I'm able to just perform as an athlete.
Yeah, the facility here, that was my goal, right, is to create that one-stop shop feeling. Okay, hey, I get the strength and conditioning side, I get the hitting side, now we're getting a physical therapy side, recovery, nutrition. That's my whole goal. So guys and gals, when they come here, they don't have to leave. They have everything. It's one drive here, spend the day, you get all your work in for the day. And then I started off here focused solely on baseball. You know what I mean? Like, went to school, got the master's degree, came down, opened up the facility thinking all I want to do is train baseball guys, right? My goal has always been, hey, train those high-level big leaguers. So I started to get the baseball side down, started to get these high school studs, college, and then some of the pros with the lockout. But also, I never would have imagined, right, where are we? Clearwater, Florida. It's the hub for softball, one of the main hubs. So there's a lot of softball talent around. So naturally, organically, those softball girls started coming in, right? And I noticed, holy cow, these girls work so hard. And then it's like kind of my new passion, my new love is working with these girls, like, because they don't complain. They do everything you tell you, and, they just work their asses off, and it's awesome. So when you, came in and started to build that relationship, looked at it as an opportunity. You're like, oh my God, like she wants to, train here. She wants to hit. She wants to do the strength and conditioning. So we'll take care of her. But what if we can fill that gap in player development, through the softball players coming up together? So I don't know the hitting side. I don't know the fielding side. I don't have, the aura of Sierra Romero, right? So that's when I approach you. Hey, what if we try to help these girls out? What if we try to build something to where it takes the guessing out of everything? They need to know exactly what they need to do. Hey, what does the best in the world do for hitting? What does the best in the world do for fielding? What does the best in the world do from strength and conditioning? All player development. How do I grow into an elite level player like Sierra? So that's, what we ultimately built. at the end of the day. And I noticed, like, with the other softball girls that I train in here, we got a couple at some pretty high level Division I universities just naturally from being in here. I noticed when they start to implement these training protocols the right way that baseball has been doing for some time now. Softball has been behind, but now the ones that are doing this are seeing an insane gap in player development. So like girls that are doing this, putting in the time in the weight room, you notice physically it's a completely different animal out on the softball field. And that's how you literally blow the competition away. Because what was there before something like this? It was just relying on talent.
Right.
Just God-given ability.
A big thing too is with the app, with the 32 approach, we're combining everything, right?
Yeah.
You have the trainer, you have the athlete. And so the workouts that are in this app are literally the workouts I'm doing. The only thing that will change it all is like when I get closer to season, some of the stuff we might be doing, but there's still some of those movements in the app. So what's cool is like we're always going to be adding to this, whether it's workouts, whether it's drills. And my big thing is like I'm not going to, with my drills with hitting and with defense, I'm not going to give you a million drills that there are out there because I don't even do them. So I'm going to give you the drills that I think are actually good and beneficial and that work.
Yeah.
We don't want to sugarcoat this. We don't want to sit here and tell you need to do 5 million drills to be an elite athlete. You don't. I'm going to give you what I think are the most important ones, and that might be different from somebody else, but this is what has worked for me and what has worked for a lot of people that I know. And as the game evolves, like we're going to evolve with it too, and we're going to pick up on newer drills. We're going to pick up on what the best are doing. And so I think that that's something that's important to note because, I mean, the way that we got started, it was a big trust thing. Like he brought this opportunity to me because he already did it on the baseball side. And I was kind of like, because I've dealt with some sketchy business people in the past. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I need to get a feel for this guy. I don't even know if I trust him yet. Like, I don't know how I feel about him. And so after we like talked, had just like regular conversations that weren't just always softball and lifting, I'm like, okay, like I feel good about this. Like, I think I can trust him. Like, he knows what he's doing. Like, I was paying attention to a lot of what he was doing. And a lot of like the videos he was having made with me like prior to us even talking about doing the 32 approach. And so after like feeling comfortable with that, like I felt like I could really dive in. And then that's where I realized like we had the same vision of just wanting to help the softball community. And like for me, I've been trying to figure out what is going to be my passion outside of playing softball. I still currently play pro, but like how can I impact athletes more like all over the world? I do camps and clinics, but I mean, I get to work with those athletes one time.
Yeah.
Like how much of an impact am I really having on them? Is it cool that we get to meet and everything? Absolutely. And it's cool I get to travel and go to these different states, but I'm not really getting to help you and work with you every single day. And so like that's where this app comes into place because we've come up with the best training program, we've come up with the best hitting drills, the best defensive drills, and like I said, they're going to continue to be added over time. There's going to be more and more information for you, and then on top of that, like we'll be coming out with our podcast, like kind of like what we're doing now, and just informing you guys on things that we see going on with the younger and older athletes that are in here all the time, but also through our own life experiences because I've played at every division you can possibly think of with a ton of amazing athletes, and I've had every different type of teammate, so I just feel like I've also had the coaching experience too at Oregon
at the highest level.
So it's like I just feel like there's a lot of information that between the both of us that we can give and share with you guys, and the fact that this app will allow us to like talk to everyone, I think is something that's really unique.
Like I said before, right, it's taking the guessing out of it. There's a lot of fluff out there on, you scroll through all social media. Social media is great and all, right? We both do it. But you see a lot of stuff that just doesn't make sense. And not only is it not getting you better, a lot of this stuff's going to get you worse. You know what I mean? So this is what one of the best players in the world has done, to grow into that title, right? And then this is something, the strength and conditioning side is something that I brought to the table, with a master's degree, every certification you can think of in this, through thousands of athletes that I've trained. This system is science-based and it's got true evidence, and that it works, right? That's the whole point behind this. So what she was saying earlier on about, all these different drills out there, these are the drills that she's showing in this program, fielding from hitting side, right now, that you need to be doing, that what she did. This is literally the highest level softball training right from your smartphone. You know, you can get it anywhere in the world. And not to mention, we're going to add a strong community aspect to this thing as well. So in the app, there is a discussion board where you can always post questions about, you know, each workout on a particular day. And then me or Sierra are literally going to be answering those questions inside the app, inside that discussion board. So we're also going to hold all these Zoom meetings, you know, could be monthly, you know, whatever it may be. We're going to hold them to Academy members only. So you can come up with questions and ask Sierra and I directly, you know, whether it be trying to get recruited to play college softball. What are the steps we think you should take? So the true root of this is simply to help. You know, from my side, I saw a gap in player development in the softball world. You know, from her side, she's dealt with it. She had to figure all this out by herself. You know, being that small girl in high school, them telling her, hey, you're not gonna get an opportunity to play college because you're too small, too short, you know, too weak. So she had to figure out a way to develop. So literally 20 years of trying to figure this thing out were given to you. So it's gonna be really awesome. You're gonna be at an extreme disadvantage if you're not in this academy. Because, you know, girls that are in this academy, you're going to start seeing them excel the others, right?
You gotta know too that the training isn't just enough, like the softball training. Look at the athlete now in 2023. Some of these girls are even more built than me, and these are girls going into college. They're not even there yet. So the investment right now on the lifting side, right? That physical aspect is huge because these coaches are going after power hitters. They want to see a power hitter in the lineup. You look at one of the best lineups in the world every single season, it's Oklahoma. They are all power hitters. Sure, they might have a hitter in there that can like slap it down, drop a bunt, whatever, but for the most part, 1 through 9 has the opportunity to change a game at any moment. Yeah. And so they're investing in power hitters. They're investing in power in general. They still want you to be fast, but you can be powerful and still be fast. It's all about your training, and that's what we do here. Because, I mean, I'm not the biggest, but I'm also not weak. I know that I'm strong, and I know that I can still move around the bases and get from point A to point B quickly, and cause havoc if I need to when it comes to the base path. Yeah. But I think like something that's important to note is, I know some of you might be like, oh, well, you came from the Bat Busters. You guys have that awesome facility at STC. And yeah, I got really lucky with the travel ball side. I had the facility. The facility, it was a bit of a drive. It was about an hour and a half, and it wasn't always easy to get to. So I had hitting coaches that were closer to home, trainers that were closer to home because, my family, I'm the oldest of 4. We couldn't just always go out and drive an hour and a half every single day for me to train. So we had to make adjustments. But I was also that kid growing up who used, the big old trash can to take reps off of by throwing a tennis ball up against it. Like I was the one bugging my uncles and cousins and everybody to play catch with me, figuring out a way to get better. And I think that something like this, like it's extremely scalable, and that's something that we talk about. Like sure, we might be showing you squats on a squat rack or things with all this like cool stuff, but like all of this you can still do at home. Think about when COVID first happened, right? I was telling him for my workouts, some of my workouts I would literally get like laundry detergent or get a backpack and fill it with stuff and put it on, and that's what I would do squats with, because you'd be amazed at how great like body weight stuff is. And even if you just add a couple pounds, like you can do all of these movements. You just have to make little modifications and adjustments, but every single movement you can recreate somehow. Yeah. And that's what's nice, is like this is going to be an opportunity for anyone and everyone. It doesn't matter what you have access to or what you don't have access to, but just know that the softball side training now in 2023 and forever on, it's not going to be the same. Colleges, like I said, they're investing in power. They want power. They want athletes that are going to be able to last the full season, that are fit. They don't want the injury-prone athlete that's going to, not work hard to stay in shape and keep their body where it needs to be. So it's like we're literally giving you the workouts, the defense, the hitting. And like I said, we've already talked about, I'm obviously not a pitcher or a catcher, so I'm not going to act like I can coach you on that, but we'll find somebody who can and make sure that they're in this app eventually to give you access to that. Because we want this to be, if you're just trying to train and get better here, whatever you're trying to improve on, we want this app to be something that you can go to and something that you can rely on every single year to give you the best training.
Yep. Yeah, it's that we want this community to be filled with all like-minded individuals with that intrinsic motivation, maybe a chip on your shoulder. Maybe somebody did tell you one day that, hey, you're too small. You're too small to play high school at this high school, right? Hey, you got to sit the bench, Little Joyce out in front of you, is a lot better. So that's for the girl like that who's trying to pass up, little Joyce, who's trying to prove all these people, all these haters wrong, right? Because if you follow a blueprint like we're laying out for you, you're going to. It's proven. You know what I mean? All you have to do, it's hard, right? The program we laid in front of you, it's going to be hard. It's going to take a lot of time. On Fridays, we have 3 programs running on the same day. We have the strength program on Friday, we have the hitting program on Friday, we have the field work on Friday. You may be at the field for 2 hours. You may be in the weight room for an hour and a half. We're not saying this is going to be easy, right? We're saying we're giving you the blueprint, and if you, bust your ASS, right, and do everything in this app, you're going to get better, because that's what it takes. Like she says, power, coaches are investing in power. The game is changing. We had half of Florida State's team in here, one of the best colleges in the nation, last summer and off season. These girls are doing weighted chin-ups. You know what I mean? Big Tina can deadlift 500 pounds. Yeah. It's like, I can't even deadlift 500 pounds right now. You know what I'm saying? But what is your goal? Do you want to make it to the highest level in this sport you can in softball? Or do you just want to, mess around, play travel ball, be an all right high school player, whatever it may be? That's fine too. Softball is not going to be everyone's passion. But this program, this academy, this community is for those with that elite mindset that want to make it to the highest level in this sport,
Yeah, if you want it bad enough, you're going to make it work. I think that's something that we talk about. I'm sure it'll be something we talk about on the podcast eventually. But like he said, it's not going to be easy. Nothing that I do is easy. I'm constantly trying to outwork these fresh, younger college athletes. I'm 29 years old. Yeah. Off of 3 knee surgeries. There's a lot that I have to do just to keep up with them, right? And that doesn't mean that I don't have the ability to still perform and be just as good as those college athletes. I might have to work a little bit harder, body works a little bit differently, but I adjust. And those college athletes that are leaving college, gonna play pro, they're gonna have to adjust, because pro is a different game than college. They're playing against more elite athletes every single time, full teams of elite athletes. And so I think that that's just where the game is. Like, if you're not willing to adjust, the game's going to become a lot harder for you. And that's where we talk about, like, we want the most elite athletes in this app with the 32 Approach Softball Academy, because if you want the Division I softball experience, or if you want an elite level softball experience, it's going to be hard. Yeah. Nothing about it is going to be easy. I don't know a single college softball player that would say it was easy. Yeah. It's hard. Yeah. It's time management. You're mixing in school, you're mixing in training, trying to have a social life while playing and performing, because you want to be an All-American, you want to win a national championship. And I mean, you look at a team like Oklahoma who does it every single year. Like, they have a system down, and they have a certain type of athlete that they recruit. And I've heard Patty Gasso say it, she recruits gamers. Yeah. She wants somebody who, even if she doesn't see physically what they're doing, she can just tell by the way they walk, the way they carry themselves, the confidence that they have and that they share with everybody else. Like, that's what they're looking for. And you're only going to feel confident if your preparation is there. So this app is going to give you that preparation. So there's really no reason for you to ever doubt yourself or to not feel confident in what you bring to the table on the softball field. Yep.
The whole goal is to make that transition to the next level, whatever it may be, a little bit better for you. For instance, what's the typical thing, right? If you're a high schooler, you commit to one of these big schools like a Florida State. You don't play your freshman year, you don't play your sophomore year, you wait till your junior year to get your shot so you can develop for those 2 years. The whole goal behind this is, hey, if I get on this on high school, if I get in this app, get in this academy in high school, I get on it my, sophomore, junior, senior year. Now by the time I step foot freshman year on campus at whatever program it is, you can look like, holy rip, I've been doing this stuff already for the last 3 years. I'm ready to go. Yeah. Like, I don't need to develop. I'm a freshman. Like, put me in, coach. We're buying back time on your career with this thing. You know what I mean? No matter what your age is. we're giving you an extra couple of years to develop before you make it to that next level. Because that's the whole goal. Everybody in this app, everybody in this academy, you should have the highest expectations for your career. That's what we want. We don't want people without that intrinsic motivation working towards it. We want, the 11-year-old girl that wants to play at Oklahoma on this app and is going to do everything she can to get to Oklahoma or Michigan.
Or Michigan.
Yeah, or Michigan.
Let's push more athletes to Michigan.
Yeah,
I think Oklahoma's good.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's all about our passion and what we have to offer and what we want to share with you guys. His passion is to develop these athletes. My passion is to inform you guys, but also give you guys the tools that I wish I had, the things that I wish I had when I was younger that I learned throughout my career. And he's been doing it, and now I'm getting more involved with it. And, being a part of this platform is allowing me to spread it to everybody. And that's what's been nice with collabing with him. But I just think, like he said, if you're not on this app, it's kind of like you're not really giving yourself the full opportunity to get better. And so I think that it's important that these athletes jump on it while you have the chance, because the development process is huge. Don't waste, like you said, a couple years in college trying to beat out whoever it is. Start your freshman year. I definitely didn't go into college with the mindset that I was going to sit. I went into college thinking I'm taking somebody's spot, and it is what it is. If they want to keep their spot, they're going to have to beat me out. And so I think that that's just something that this app is going to teach. It's going to help you guys with that confidence, because it's all in the preparation, like I said. So
I would hate to be somebody competing with somebody that's doing this program.
Right.
I would hate to be that girl. So don't be that girl.
So basically sign up for the 32 Approach Softball Academy now.
Yep.
That's
what we're telling you.
Just a quick recap. The program is out now, so check out the description below. But in the meantime, make sure you enter for the giveaway that's going to end on June 18th for a chance to fly out to St. Petersburg, Florida to train with me and with Summers. We're going to be in here getting after it over the weekend. We're going to go out to eat. We're going to talk about your goals, how you can achieve them. We're going to basically hit everything that you could possibly think of. There's going to be some really cool giveaway stuff too. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity. Our goal too with this is we want this to be a very intimate thing with our 32 Approach Academy members. So there's going to be giveaways like this again in the future. So if you missed out on this one, don't be discouraged. There will be more. We want to make sure that we're giving you guys access not only to us, but to the facility. So if you're ever in town and you're a part of the 32 Approach Academy, come in here, train, hit, whatever you got to do to get better. We always want to support you in that aspect. So make sure you check out the description below and get signed up for your 7-day free trial with the 32 Approach Softball Academy.
Game rewards the grind. It knows how much you invested.